Once upon a time, in a land far, far away, lived a man. This man was named Hero, who hailed from the great lands of India. In search of his fortune, Hero sailed from India to Singapore to gain knowledge and wisdom from his elders. In doing so, he had an idea of his own. He had heard about a land known as the Pearl of the Orient, the Philippines. Hero once again embarked on a journey in search of a better life. He was immediately drawn to a young lady, Gopi, who caught his fancy. They both shared common interests. Among these interests was the dream of starting a business. Thus, with the help of Gopi and her father, the company known as New Creation, with its first brand, Canadian, began. In the late 50s and early 60s, the demand for beddings increased. With this, the company began expanding its product lines into bed sheets, pillowcases, and towels. During this time, Canadian held its home in several locations, such as Tomas Pinpin and Lorenzana Compound. It initially sold most of the products to the staple commercial districts of that time, such as Escolta, Avenida, Binondo, Carriedo, Santa Cruz Plaza, Evangelista, and Quezon Boulevard. After garnering success in the business, Mr. Hero had a light bulb moment. One afternoon, while listening to the radio, he heard a track.
Hello, Dolly.
It was there in that garage where Hello Dolly was born.
Glad to have you back where you belong. You looking swell, Dolly. I can tell, Dolly. You keep blowing.
Mr. Hero's life draws many parallels to business. As the business was growing, so did his family. He and Gopi had 4 offsprings: Sunita, Shobha, Ravi, and Sanjay. Out of the 4 children, only one had a name that did not begin with an S. He was the outlier, so to speak. That son was Ravi. Ravi is very close to his father and is being groomed as a successor to the business. However, Ravi would not be faced with an easy task ahead. From the 70s to the 80s, during this period, certain local industries struggled. Among them was Hello Dolly and Canadian. In his quest to revive the brands, Ravi ventured off on his own fortune-seeking quest to the Middle East. It was there where he encountered shrewd businessmen who he viewed as potential clients. These shrewd men rejected him several times and looked at Ravi as just another salesman. If at first you don't succeed, try and try again. Mr. Ravi finally managed to close his first international order and expanded the apparel business to Europe, Japan, Australia, UAE, and Saudi Arabia. Because of this success, Hello Dolly began to grow, and the manufacturing of several apparel types, from jogging suits to shirts to baby products, did so too. In the 1990s, international brand exposure became more widespread. The growing influence of television and other updated forms of media became common in most Filipino households. With this continued success, the company has grown to greater heights and continues to expand by obtaining several licenses. Among them are Disney Baby, Peanuts, and Fisher-Price. After decades of operation, the company decided the demand for its products had grown. Henceforth, to meet the supply needs of its customers and partners alike, the company expanded its operation by relocating Canadian to an alternate home. From the late 90s to early 2000s, a massive growth in tourism and shopping became a more common part of daily Filipino culture. With this, Canadian has most recently opened satellite offices to cater to the continuously growing provinces, among them Cebu, Davao, and Boracay. To this day, Canadian remains one of the leading manufacturers and distributors of bed linens, towels, and pillows in the Philippines. In 2009, to pay homage and to show appreciation to its customers, the companies decided it would hold its first ever trade show. The trade show would continue for 10 years and be held annually. This year marks the 11th annual trade show and the 60th year of that once fortune-seeking quest. However, the quest does not end here. Ravi and his wife Shirley have two sons of their own, the eldest being Chand, who operates from Canadian, and the youngest, Anil, who operates from Hello Dolly. The journey continues today due to the valued patronage of its partners. Similarly, e-commerce continues to grow and remains an integral part of modern Filipinos' day-to-day lives. As the pearl continues to shine, so does Hello Dolly, Little Wishes, Lifestyle, Modern Linen, and Canadian.